Today, from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, it's Week 11 of the NFL on EA Sports.
From the area known as Patriot Place, EA Sports set for football at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. This will be fielded inside the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And he's had such a sensational season to this point, leading the NFL in passing yards. He's been helped out a lot by an outstanding set of receivers, and he's quick to give them credit. But I think even they would tell you that he's the guy that makes this offense go.
Tua now on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Williams will try again, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead.
If you did know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. Throwing Jones. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. On 4th down, Joseph Charlton on to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The rushing numbers for Gaskin last week, north of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And the return will stop right around the 25. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Now a handoff looking right. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 20 carries, 59 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Even from up here. The play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, That was well executed.
Now Jones. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. To throw again on second down. Jones. That'll be to Dokes underneath. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it'll make it a second down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
Now Jones from the gun on third down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play there for Miami. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and Super Bowl 53 MVP, Julian Edelman.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw there complete to Ruggs. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
To throw again on second down. Tua. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And the Patriots are going to take over once again at their own. Wow. 25-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the gun on third down. Jones, complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Jalen Phillips able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. Another try after the first down sack. Jones. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Jones now to throw on 3rd down. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the... After 7-0 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Open man is Myers. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. That was huge after being behind the chains on 1st down to make this 2nd very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on 1st down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on 2nd down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, stand ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. Hands it off out of the gun. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 48. The kick by Parkey is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They are working on that very impressive 9-game win streak, looking to get it to 10 as they've got the lead here, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll let this go deep for Rugg. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. It's a big play there for Miami.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Here's Gaskin. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge. And that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Well, nothing complicated about that. That's old-school power football.
And effective. And that's the key to everything, right? Sometimes we try and do too many things. Just hand it to the big guy and let him go forward.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he will have a Patriots 1st down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Here's Jones on 1st down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Now a handoff as they run left side. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
New England on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Looking to throw. Jones. In trouble, and he's taken down. Derek Brown in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Here's Joseph Charlton now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. take it at the 37. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Going up top. Touchdown. That's caught. Jalen Waddle with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Back to throw. Jones. Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. And he will have a Patriots first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. Jones. This is Smith with a grab. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 44-yard line. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Similar to a shooter in basketball who just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Looking to throw. Jones. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Miami set to take over. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Looking to pass. Tua. He's going to go up top again. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first half lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taking it about the 1. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. Jones on 1st and 10. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They'll get this to his running back, Dokes. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. Derek Brown racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And in the second quarter, it is the Eagles who are out in front. Miles Sanders with a touchdown run. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. The Lions trying to hold on. And
okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Patriots trailing here, but they will have the football first as the third quarter is underway. And the half will begin with a touchback. Well, the Patriots taking over to start quarter number 3. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. Off the bootleg, Jones. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw again.
Well, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
All right, Charles, we've spoken about this offense plenty, how great they've been all year. 9-0 now, into the back half of the season. Super Bowl favorites, without a doubt. I think everyone agrees on that. What do you think is the thing that most stands between them and a perfect season?
I think it's themselves. I think it's their team, how they approach things, how they conduct themselves during the week, practicing, getting ready, and then going out and playing. Can't take your foot off the gas pedal at this stage. Doesn't matter if it's a weak team you're playing or not. Look, when I talk with one of the best golfers of all time, he told me he never played against the field. He just played against himself and his own standard.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
The end result was brute force on brute force, but think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. New England trying to get a place on offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious. Because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they try the right side here. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Myers. And he goes out of bounds and looks like right at the 50.
They can have... feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3-and-out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the first down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Quick slant here to Smith. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
67 yards on the ground for him so far.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's a handoff out of the gun, and only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Back to throw. Jones. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to... Get the 3rd down conversion.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Over the middle, complete. That's Henry. 7 yards, the pickup there. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Levante David in on the 10. Tackle. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the pistol, here's Williams. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. Here's Tua. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. It's a big play there for Miami.
Defender was right there in his shorts. Is that one of those situations as a DB where you just tip your cap and say, nice catch?
Well, you're supposed to. But a true competitor, he's not tipping his cap at all. He's upset he still didn't make the play. If it's a 50-50 ball or a moment of truth, he's got to win more than his fair share of them as well.
Probably especially angry because if it was incomplete, would have been 4th down.
Exactly.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
Well, these two teams met down in Miami earlier this year with the Dolphins. Winning that one. So they're trying to win here in Foxborough to capture the season series.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's make these babies cry.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. The give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Chewo Oladolua, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Off play action. Jones. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Emmanuel Ogbah, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now Jones, throwing on 3rd and long. He completes it to Henry. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. The Patriots send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Dolphins offense returning to the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. A handoff as they run the counter play. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On the give, this is their throwback. And he's got the 1st down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Williams. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
44 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Well, they'll take that.
Every time with a lead, first down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run now with Gaskin, and he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Haven't met a defense coordinator yet that thinks 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. Playbook is wide open for an offense, partner.
Nice job. Hold him to 1 after that 8-yard pickup on first down. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. New England's offense set to go. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed,
They need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. From the 36, Jones. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Jones now on 3rd and 2.
And not enough on the throw that time, as that one is incomplete.
The Patriots send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is taken at about the 14. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
74 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Williams.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Miami, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for New England, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.